Yes,
Okay, it's officially recording, Yara. So, firstly, thank you for obviously being here today. I'm already smiling because I know I know how we've been together recently and how you've changed. And this is an opportunity where I would love to hear it again. And so people that maybe are in a similar position to you can maybe hear your story, feel inspired. So can you maybe start just by introducing yourself?
of course. Well, I'm very glad to be here. And like I just told you, like hit on that record button and I'll give you the best testimonial because I'm very happy with the result. So my name is Yara Gamel and I'm originally Egyptian and been living in the Netherlands for I think around 10 years now. And yes, we have started. Also work as a life coach, but I'm a little bit specialized differently than you. And yeah, we worked together and I loved it. So, what would you like me to explain my where I was first or where I am now?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Firstly, thanks for introducing yourself. But yeah, I mean, I suppose what people are going to want to know is your transformation. So where was Yara in the beginning, and where is Yara today, kind of thing.
Okay, that's actually the question. I was in a place where I needed the stuff. So I always needed something, always chasing the next best thing. It was never enough. And I remember when I first sat with you and I asked you, when is it going to be ever enough? Because like I keep winning, and it doesn't mean anything. And I always look for what's next. And I always ask myself that. Never ever give myself the validation, always seeking it from other people. So I would ask for it, like from friends, my partner, um, my clients, like, did you like the session? Was it good for you? Something like that. And yeah, it was never enough that I say I did good, that I accept myself for who I am, or that I love myself. I almost never wanted to sit alone by myself because I would feel like this person is not interesting. And now like I told you, like before we started recording, I've been sitting alone with my son for a whole week. He would go to school and I would sit alone. He would go to bed early and I would sit alone. And I didn't even need to turn on the TV to keep me busy, like just sitting with myself, just having these peaceful moments. And now I can say these are peaceful moments. Before they were never peaceful. There was a chaos in my head, like noise. And now it is a lot calmer, and I'm very grateful for that. And I think a huge effect happened when we talked together and I worked with you.
Thank you so much. And honestly, Yara, your story inspires me, and obviously I helped you, but the way that you transformed. I remember when I first started talking to you in the beginning. I remember you were so almost desperate for external validation to a degree. You was trying to seek the next high, the next fun, always worried about what other people thought about you. And we connected you together. Like I explained at the beginning of when we started talking. You was a plug. This is you plug, and then there's a socket here, and we just plugged you in. That's the way
Yes.
I like to explain it. And how did you find? Have you ever used like or experienced the methods that I used before? How did you
Actually,
find it?
no, no, I didn't. Even though I have followed lots and lots of coaching methods, because it's like, like when you are specialized in something, all you see around you is that thing. So I've met a lot of coaches and I worked with a lot of coaches, but your method is definitely different. It's definitely something else that I've never experienced before, combining can I say that? Yeah, can I say something that happened? Okay, combining the physical movement with the talking, and like telling yourself your new story, it's all different. And it's all, like after our session, I spent the whole night with a smile on my face. And I always had insomnia and I slept like a baby.
You said that to
Yes, because I usually have insomnia, like I go to bed and I would keep rolling in bed without being able to fall asleep directly. And it's like, it's okay, I'm safe now, I'm here now. And I slept. I just slept like that. And I woke up in the morning very happy. And I kept remembering the session and remembering what we worked on, and it was very nice to me, like you even give me times, like when you're brushing your teeth, remember what we did. So I wake up in the morning and I'm brushing my teeth and I remember what you said. And I remember the session and I smile, not because I'm brushing, but also, but also I'm smiling. So yeah, it was different, but good different, great different.
Wow. And you know what? And I'm gonna say this as well. I said this again before we started recording, but the Yara that I'm talking to today is not the Yara that I met in the first time. This is a whole different Yara. It's like a Yara 2.0. It's like a Yara upgrade. And
Yes,
what I found is that for yourself, and I think this is a problem for most people, where you feel disconnected. I think a lot of the time, I suppose people feel disconnected with themselves because you're living proof that when you feel connected, you get Yara. You get,
yeah,
when you feel connected, you get this inspirational human being who doesn't seek external anything. You love your son, you love your family, you love yourself, you love your life, you're content, you're at peace with yourself, and that's something that you can't put a price on.
exactly.
You just can't.
You know what you said, and I would like to confirm, like not one person is one thing. No, like everyone on earth, I could say, like every human being has so many sides of their personality, and every side of that personality is really important for something. So, what you helped me do is we have seen those sides together, and even after that, I have experimented with it a little bit. And I told you, like I discovered a new side of me that likes to play, so I call on it when I'm playing with my son. But still, like without our session together, I would have never come to this realization that already have everything I need to do whatever I want, and be content, be happy with whatever I am and whoever I am. So this is what I really needed to have. And now that I have it, I wish everyone could have it as well, like have that peaceful feeling, that knowing that everything is going to be okay. That if you don't like where you are, you can always change where you are, but you cannot change who you are. So that's the person to love, that's
Wow.
the person to appreciate. The place can change, the circumstances can change, but the personality is who we accept and love. Thank you.
I absolutely love what you just said there. And what you just said out at the end, it's going to stick with me tonight. I love that you said you can't change, you can't control where you are, but you can change who you are. And I think that's if there's one message that someone can take with them in their life. And it goes back to something I said to you at the very beginning of last week was you could either focus on what you can control, what you can't control. Do you remember when we sort of discussed that? It goes
Yes,
back to that, doesn't it? That in life, you've only got two focuses. You either focus on all the things that you can't control. Well, those things that you can't control, they're going to give you overwhelm, anxiety. They're going to make you chase things. They're going to make you stressed. The things that you can control, if you focus on these things, you feel more peaceful. And I definitely think that what you said is absolutely fantastic. And I think you're going to inspire a lot of people. I I don't even think it. I know you are. Can I ask you a question?
of course.
If there was, because there's a lot of revolutions that you've got happen, you've experienced. There's a lot of major shifts in your life so quickly. If you had to pick the one thing that you got out of working with me, the biggest thing out of all the little things, what would you say that is?
Okay. First of all, that's a very good question. And second of all, it's the affirmation, self-affirmation, like this voice inside of me that says, Yara, no matter what happens, you'll be okay. That's huge because I always used to worry about what happens, about what if things get out of control? What if I get out of control? And now I know, you know, I have I have everything I need to face it, to face whatever happens, and that, like problems happen, loss happens, everything happens, and with that, I know that I will be okay again, after grieving whatever I need, or, dealing with whatever problem, I will be okay. It will be fine.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And your overwhelm, your anxiety no longer consumes you because you have built this confidence, self validation in a way within yourself to know that, you are the controller of your life. You are the creator. You decide if you're going to be fine. You decide if you're not going to be fine, you know?
Exactly. And you know what? It's like a relief. It's like I even told you that I remember by the end of the session, I told you like this motor was running and was making a huge noise. And then it just got turned off. And when it got turned off, it was like, wow, it's really quiet in here, like this relief of
Yeah,
feeling, like less overwhelmed and more present with yourself.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all this, Yara. And I really appreciate you sharing your story and your transformation because it is, and I've said this about 100 times, but I'm going to say it again, it's extremely inspiring. Now, I'm going to ask you a last question, which is this. What advice would you give to somebody else who is potentially watching this right now, who maybe feels the things that maybe you felt? What advice would you give to that person who's maybe thinking about joining my program, doing sessions with me, working with me? What advice would you give to that person?
Well, I would say that the best investment we do is the investment we do for ourselves.
It's good.
Like invest in yourself, and it is worth it. It really is worth it to work with you. Like I never felt like it was a loss of time, that you never related to what I do. You did relate to everything I said. You did help me a lot. And to everyone who is, like thinking twice, well, don't, because George right here is a great
Thank you.
not just a coach. He's a great person. He will do everything in his power to help, and you are very relatable. You understand what's going on. And your program does work. It does. I cannot emphasize how much, because
Thank you.
like I've been to many programs, and yours, it really does work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I take the compliment, but I always tell people there's nothing, even if I have everything I can teach you and give to you, if you're not willing to take it with two hands and commit to the change, it comes from you first, doesn't it? And that's the main thing. Can I ask, do you have ADHD or clinically or self-diagnosed? Is it something that you've been diagnosed with or you think you have it?
Well, yeah, I've been diagnosed with something called restlessness.
Okay.
It is a form of ADHD, but it's more in the head. It's more mental than physical. So my mind would get restless. So I would get sleepless nights. I would jump from one idea to the other. When I start talking, I could, like break the topic in the middle and speak about something else. Like, I remember this, something like that. And then I would switch the topic, and it's very hard to keep track of my thoughts. So now I feel like I've got my mind in check. And like I told you, to be able to do something meditative, I do crochet. So this is handmade right here.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you so, so much, Yara. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to stop this recording now. But again, I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done. The transformation has come from you. I just guided you to the path. You took the path. And I think that's the biggest lesson that anyone watching this needs to understand, that I never transformed Yara. Yara transformed Yara. Yara helped Yara out. And I just, I just just give you a little, like, as you explained, I gave you the nudge. I gave you the
Yes.
nudge. I think that's a good way to put it. I think that's a good way to put it.
Well, I do have some friend who's always said something like, "This is where you are right now. This is where you want to be, and your coach is that bridge."
Very, very true. You know what? That is so, so true. Your friend is very smart. That's it's an easy way to explain it. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Let me stop this video recording now. Thank you again, Yara.